throughout the years, Splinter's gone through many deaths, and some days have lasted and some of them have not, and to say the very least, he is sort of one of those characters of like you sort of expect to die eventually, but at the same time you don't want him to die. But in one particular version of Turtles, it's sort of hard to say if he actually really died or if he's still alive in this universe. So without further ado, let's get into this one. Let's go. And before we do get started, if you do like this content and want to see more from this channel, please do make sure to subscribe, like and turn on post notifications. Now let's go on with the video. So during the Mirage Volume 4, which came out in the early days of the early 2000s and lasted all the way up to I think it's 2011, 2012, like roughly around that sort of time. Now it's really interesting with this time period with the Turtles, with the Mirage stuff. It's got the ongoing previously ongoing series, which lasted about for 32 issues, and there's some interesting stuff in that. And then you also had the Tales of TMNT, and then you also had like a few other miniseries going on with some of the Turtles. However, things are quite interesting in this volume, especially for every single character. So I'll only be talking about Splinter in this one, just due to this being a Splinter focused video and his death. So a little backstory before we talk about what actually happened. So after the events of Volume 2 and maybe Volume 3, that's still up for debates if that one's really canon now, but still, nonetheless, Splinter was living on April and Casey's farm, and he was just living out his last few days on the farm because, you know, he's quite old. Their lair's been destroyed for quite a few years now, and yeah, and so Splinter's living up there, and Casey and April had their kid, Shadow, or it's not really their kid, but maybe technically sort of is. So when Shadow is older, she goes train with Splinter and in a way sort of become her grandfather, in a way I guess. Now at this point all the Turtles are left to go to New York and do their own thing because they're adults and they can do whatever they want now. So Splinter's all alone up in the farmhouse, and yeah. There was at one point when he was actually going to get assassinated by a hunter, but then someone stopped him, and that's really about it for Splinter. However, in issue 10, Splinter had a heart attack and he unfortunately passed away, and this was quite devastating to everyone, the readers, the characters, and they brought him out for the funeral and did like, I think it was like a Viking funeral where they put him on the river, and then I don't think they burned him, but they might have. But this funeral was so impactful that even Leatherhead, who didn't like the Turtles at the time, went to the funeral. That was how impactful this funeral was. So at the time, you know, they're all grieving for this, and this eventually led to the Turtles going their own separate ways. And during this sort of separation period, the Turtles went through some quite a big few changes. So Mikey went to train with the Triceratons and had like kids and all that. So that's sort of something we should probably look into a bit more. Donatello got shrunk and he had to build a robot to be a normal version of the Turtles. Leonardo was becoming like the next level of ninja. And then Raph got double mutated. You might know this, like if you've seen 2003 show from like season 4 where Donnie got double mutated, that's where the design came from. So that's everything that you need to know. So one day, Donnie, I can't exactly remember the exact reason why, but he decided to dig up Mark Splinter's grave, and he got his body and started experimenting on it. Now, the results that he found were shocking, and the results were that this Mark Splinter that they knew, grew up with, and trained with, loved for like the past like 15 plus years was not the Splinter they grew up with. Now this was a major big reveal and it was so shocking. The downside to this was that this was the final issue and we never found out what actually happened to my Splinter. Did he survive? Is he alive? Is he dead? Who knows? Now there's now there hasn't been any real answers. None of the artists, writers, anything like that, they've not come out about this and talked about it. There were like plans a few years ago, or I don't know if there still is, but Bill wants IDW to redo Volume 4 and actually give it a proper finale, and I would love that to happen because we can finally get an answer to this. I mean, we've had this for like nearly 10 years now, or no, possibly longer than that, with this big mystery of what happened to the original Master Splinter. Now, Jim Lawson, who was the artist at the time, he put on, I think, or I can't remember what social media platform he put on, but he put up an image of the final scene that he was going to be drawing, and it had the original Master Splinter, as well as, who's the Master now, Mikey with Triceratops kids, because turtles, I guess. Now, this all does raise the question, what happened to Master Splinter? And there isn't really been any real answer, and not too many people actually know about this thing that happened, and it's quite interesting. And when you do talk about people, or when you talk to people about this situation, they don't really have a good enough explanation for this. And to be honest, neither do I. No one can really say what happened, because Peter Laird, who was helping out with the story, the writing, he is a mastermind with storytelling. Just look at 2003 show, that's a true masterpiece, right? So you can see how this big plot twist thing, which has done plot twists before, which we never saw coming, and we were surprised about it, so it will be the exact same thing where we don't know what's actually happened to Master Splinter. So this all just leaves open up the doors to what happened to him. Now, I'm sure that you're gonna have your theories below, and yeah, I'm quite interested to see what people have to say about this whole topic, as I feel like there's so many different possibilities that could have happened to him. Could he got cloned? I mean, of course he got cloned, but how did he get cloned? Who by? Was it Shredder maybe? Or anything like that? Now, my theory is, and I feel like this one still has quite a lot to go along with it, is that when he got captured by the Utroms, and not really captured, but like rescued by the Utroms, and was doing that status thing, and was I think in a way sort of experimented on, I do think that he was cloned there. Now, you've got to keep in mind that the Utroms have some very powerful technology, even to the point where they are able to teleport, and this was like 30 years ago, in like the 80s, when they probably shouldn't have had that technology, but they still did. Who knows what else technology they also had? They could clone Splinter, they could have done so many other things. So what's stopping them from cloning Master Splinter? Keep in mind that he's also probably like a friend, and they knew him and want to keep a mutant alive. So I believe that there might be some, possibility there that Splinter might have got cloned by the Utroms, and I do believe that's a very good strong possibility and a very good strong theory. Now, looking back at the old comics, there isn't really too much but anywhere else that he could have got cloned, because we seen him when he was there, and we didn't go anywhere else. The only other place that he could have got cloned was in Volume 3, The Urban Legend. However, I will say this, I don't think it will be, because Peter Laird tried to uncanon the Urban Legend thing, but then recently with the Urban Legend storyline, it's all got canon. So I don't think it is that way, but who knows, with things going on, it could possibly be, and try to relate it back to more IDW stuff. I don't know, maybe it could be that. Not to mention another reason why I don't think it is that is because Donatello said that this version, or this one that was cloned, he didn't grow up with the turtles, and the one in the Urban Legend one, he did. He saw them go into adulthood and all that, a bit more stuff other than that. So yeah, that's all my evidence and the whole story behind it. I'm quite interested to see what you guys have to say about this. Do you have any theories or anything like that? I'm very interested to see what you have to say about this, as again, there could be so many possibilities, but yet we'll never know about this until one day IDW eventually reprints the Volume 4 and completes it. We will never know, and that is a real shame. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today, guys. If you did awesome, please share, like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.